Hi, I'm Natalie Otteson, and you're listening to the Mindset School for Soulful Entrepreneurs, episode number 8. Welcome to the Mindset School podcast, a show for spiritual entrepreneurs who are ready to stop feeling stuck, reconnect to their soul's purpose, and create a deeply fulfilling life and business. I'm Natalie Otteson, transformational life coach and reconnection healing foundational practitioner. And I can help you scale and grow a 6-figure business from a place of inner authority, wisdom, knowledge, and truth. If you are a spiritual entrepreneur and you are looking to take that first step towards your dream of running your own business, this is the show for you. Ready to step into your power and move forward with clarity and purpose? Let's go. Lucky number 8. So originally I was going to talk about goal setting, but I wanted to share, I had to share an incredible experience I had this week. Literally one of the best days of my life. It was so beautiful and full of magic. And yes, I said magic. And I believe it all came from spiritual alignment. So I want to tell you a little story, and I promise you, I will tie this back to how it applies and relates to being spiritually aligned in your life and business, because it is all encompassing. As a soulful entrepreneur, all of these things build and shape who we are, and they bring us to our purpose and our passion and our mission in our lives. So, in the last episode, I talked about what happened to me when I was 16 years old. How that experience really started to unravel my life, and it started to create a snowball of events that just got bigger and bigger. After the sexual assault, I went crazy and I got pregnant at 17. I had my first son when I was 18. He is now 23 years old today. Ended up getting in relationships, had failed relationships, got married, ended up divorced, and eventually ended up together a couple years later with my son's father. We got back together and we decided that we were going to be a family, and we ended up getting pregnant. And very quickly after that, things started to unravel and fall apart very fast. And at 14 weeks, I knew that I was going to be making one of the biggest decisions I've ever made in my life. It's been almost 20 years now, and I knew that I was going to have to give this child up for adoption, because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to take care of him the way that he deserved to be taken care of. And I wasn't going to be able to take care of my son that I currently had, who depended on me solely. So it's been almost 20 years now. I was faced with the hardest decision I know I have ever made and will ever have to make in my life. This decision forever changed my life. It was a decision that was so impactful and so painful for me that I knew in that moment that everything about my life had to change. Because if it didn't, the path that I was headed down was going to lead to complete destruction of my life and soul. This was also the catalyst, the beginning of my spiritual awakening. It was not a decision I wanted to make, but it was a decision that I knew that I had to make. And I have thought about and carried so much love for this incredible soul his entire life. And I have been hoping and praying for the day that we would get to meet again. The day that I got to tell him that I always wanted you. So, on May 2nd of 2023, like magic, all of the stars aligned And a miracle happened, and I found him. And it wasn't just that I found him, it was how I found him. That literally in 3 internet clicks, he was found. So I want to back up just a little bit and share how this even came about. So a couple of years ago, I got certified as a life coach back in 2016. Again, I think I mentioned this in one of the earlier podcasts that I didn't have enough confidence or entrepreneurial skills to really scale this business. Ended up moving into real estate and then had a huge epiphany of this is not my path, this is not my purpose, and came back into coaching. So May of 2020, I said, I'm going to work on my coaching business. And so that's what I did. So over the last year, I've been scaling my coaching business and refining and narrowing down my niche, figuring out exactly who my clients are, who I want to help, how I want to help them. And in this process, I lost a little bit of myself. And I just want to tell you that that's okay. Because sometimes we have to figure out what it is that we don't want in order to figure out what it is that we do want. And sometimes it takes a minute to find our courage and our voice to share that message with the world. I was getting all caught up in day-to-day things, not being diligent on my own morning routine, something that I know works and literally has transformed my life. I was looking outward for guidance. I wasn't trusting that I have the answers within me. I was believing that other people had answers over me. I was hyper-focused and stuck in my brain versus listening to my inner wisdom, and I was second-guessing myself. And I really felt like I was floundering. And I don't know if you've ever felt that way, but that's how I was feeling. And about a month ago, I was coaching on a group call, and I felt so out of alignment. I didn't like how I showed up, and it was a huge aha moment for me that this is not me at all. This isn't how I want to coach. This isn't in alignment with me. This isn't how I want to resonate with my clients. And it hit me like a ton of bricks that I am not in spiritual alignment right now. It was so interesting because I had done this exercise meditation by Colette Baron Reid. And it was about connecting to the spirit of your business, which was so powerful. That day, I reaffirmed, I recommitted, whatever you want to call it. I realigned and made the decision that I need to practice what I preach. I need to practice what I preach with my clients. And the very next day, that next morning, I did my morning routine. I did one of my favorite binaural meditations, which is, by the way, one of the meditation packs I'm giving away. I wrote out 3 things that I'm grateful for. And instead of doing my normal affirmation where I write it out 20 times a day, one affirmation 20 times a day, I wrote out all the affirmations about being spiritually aligned, trusting myself, listening to my intuition, and being in collaboration with my guidance and how that is going to connect with my people who are supposed to hear what I have to say. No less than 30 minutes later, my mom called me and told me she found my son in 3 random clicks. She saw an image, she Googled the name, she clicked on the link, and there were the names. That, my friends, that is inspiration. That is intuition. And that is spiritual alignment. I literally sobbed tears of joy the entire day. I don't think I've cried so hard in I don't know how long. There is something so powerful about being spiritually aligned. When we are able to be spiritually aligned, we receive direction and guidance that allows us to transform our life and our businesses. Miracles happen, and we get to truly witness all of the magic. And I also want to point out that when you make the decision to be in alignment, it literally happens like that. And I know all of this may sound so woo-woo to you. I am telling you, just as Albert Einstein says, there are two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle, and the other is as though everything is a miracle. And I just want to tell you that is what I choose. And I hope you choose that too. So I want to talk a little bit about what it means to be spiritually aligned. I want to share with you what it looks like specifically for me, and then give you some examples of what it may look like for you. So all of the things that I have talked about so far in each and every episode that I've recorded, starting with mindset and then moving into a mindfulness practice. So doing this morning routine where I do meditation and gratitude and affirmations and positive reading, where I go in and I do self-coaching and journaling, where I tap into my intuition, making decisions from inner knowing, doing what feels right for me versus what others are doing or what I think I should be doing. It means checking in with how it feels to me and my body, really trusting those senses and that inner guidance. Being spiritually aligned, it also means living in harmony with your values, which I talked about a couple episodes ago. Understanding what those values are, and then moving with the ebbs and the flows of those values, your beliefs, so that you can create your purpose and your passion. It's where you feel connected to something greater than yourself, and you have this deep sense of inner peace and fulfillment. Spiritual alignment also involves aligning your thoughts and your actions and your intentions, again, with those beliefs and those values. Because our thoughts, they create our feelings, and those feelings, they drive all of our actions and inactions, which ultimately give us our results of our lives. And so whatever it is that we're thinking, if we are aligned with our spiritual beliefs and our values, we are going to have the results that are leading us in that direction. It means living a life that is guided by your intuition, your inner wisdom, and your higher purpose. And if that muscle is weak right now, you can strengthen it, just as I talked about in the last podcast episode on intuition. It also means cultivating a sense of gratitude and compassion and love for yourself and others. This process of going through my adoption, I felt so much shame and resentment and guilt and you name it. I even had my dad tell me that how many times was it going to take me to learn my lesson? And then I had a grandfather tell me, how dare I give his grandchild up for adoption? All of this led to so much unworthiness and so much shame surrounding this entire experience. But when we're able to move in alignment and when we're able to cultivate gratitude and compassion, we are able to love ourselves and know that we were doing the very best that we possibly could at the time. And when we learn to love ourselves, we teach other people how to do that exact same thing. Also, when you are spiritually aligned, you are more open to receiving the guidance, the support, and the wisdom from God, angels, the universe, your higher power, whatever that looks like for you. I had a series of events that led me to this moment. And I have trusted the guidance from a higher power, something bigger than myself. And as long as I am moving in alignment with that higher power, everything that is available to me comes to me. And I just want to tell you, what is meant for you, it will never, ever, ever pass you by. It is always there. And I just want you to know that when you're in this place, when you're connected to yourself or your higher power or God, angels, the universe, it brings so much clarity. It opens you up to creativity. And you are open to receive all the abundance that is available to you in your life, including your relationships, including your health, and especially your business. So, when we are able to be spiritually aligned. It is an opportunity for powerful transformation. It allows us to live our life with purpose and meaning. I just want to share with you, and I shared this on a podcast the other day. If I had to do it all over again, there is nothing that I wouldn't do again, because every single thing that I've been through, the grief, the loss, the pain, the trauma, the turmoil, all of it, it has shaped who I am today. And I am so proud of that person. When I say that you can become your own hero, I say that because I've done that. Sorry, it makes me emotional. I have pulled myself out of the deepest, darkest holes, and I have become my own light. And you, my friends, you can do the exact same thing. We have these experiences that happen in our life, and number one, I want you to know you're not alone. And number two, you can pull yourself out of it. And if you need guidance, I am always here to guide you through that process. I want to help you start taking the steps to create your own spiritual alignment and start creating the magic in your own life and your own business, because it is available to you. So, this is a big topic, and my soul is just exploding with joy. So just to recap, life is going to hand us all sorts of things, distractions, complications, you name it. But if you can continue to operate within your own inner wisdom, your own inner knowledge, your own truth, and you can stay aligned with who you are, I promise you, the magic will unfold. I have no idea what the rest of this journey looks like, but I promise you, I will let you know how it goes. I will keep you informed, and I will share with you what unfolds as it unfolds. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being open to hearing this story. Because I don't think I'm specifically unique. I know so many of you have been through so much of what I'm talking about. So I just want you to know you're not alone. I am here. You can always reach out to me on Instagram at Soul Sister Coaching and share anything that you feel like you want to share with me. So I will leave this here with you today. And I just want you to know that I love you, and I see you, and I'm here with you. And if you've experienced anything along these lines, I'm rooting for you. I will see you next week. All my love. To celebrate the launch of the show, I'm going to be giving away my favorite books, journals, planners, energy healing sessions, binaural meditation packs, coaching packages, and so much more. I'm going to be giving away 100 prizes for 100 reviews to the lucky listeners who follow, rate, and review the show. It doesn't have to be a 5-star review, although I sure hope you love the show. I want your honest feedback so I can create an amazing show that provides tons of value. If you've entered the podcast giveaway already, make sure that you left a review on Apple Podcasts so that you are eligible to win. Visit soulsistercoaching.com/podcast launch to learn more about the contest and how to enter. Thank you for joining me for this week's episode of The Mindset School. Ready to dive deeper into finding your purpose and create a deeply fulfilling life? Visit soulsistercoaching.com for more guidance and resources. See you next week.